Yes, guys. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you're watching this. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much for joining me again today, guys. We're going to be talking what is Arne Slot's perfect January window. Rumours that Trent has rejected Real Madrid, and all three are going to sign new contracts this Christmas. Can Liverpool go on to win the Premier League title this year? Are Liverpool favourites right now? Our Liverpool favourites right now for the league title. But before we start, make sure, guys, you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and get yourselves in the live comments. Get involved, guys. I love hearing from every single one of you in the community. And yeah, big up to everyone. It's been a while since I did a video on YouTube, in a few days. Been concentrating on all the big up stuff at the moment as well, trying to grow both channels at this moment in time, trying to work hard, putting in the shifts. But yeah, we're going to talk more about Liverpool this week as international week is coming to an end. I believe Tuesday is the end of the European international games, and then I believe Wednesday night is the last of the South American internationals and Asian internationals. So a couple of days left, internationals will be over. But off to club football we go till I believe the 20th of March or something like that. March 2025 is the next time there's an international break. So we have got no breaks now from this weekend onwards. No breaks, no stoppages, straight club football, European football, all the way to at least March. We're coming up to the best and busiest time of year if you're a football fan as well, the Christmas period, the New Year period. We've got loads of chat about it. And it's good times, guys. I hope you're all doing well in the chat, man. I hope everyone's doing good in the chat. Already 50 people in here, so make sure you're smashing that like button, please, guys. I would appreciate it. So, before we get into it and start talking about Arne Slot's perfect window, the winter window, what we're going to talk first about is Virgil van Dijk. So Virgil van Dijk has been allowed to leave the Dutch national team and go home to Liverpool to concentrate on the rest of the season at Liverpool. So apparently this was done between the international coaching setup and Liverpool itself, where they come to the conclusion that Virgil van Dijk will be allowed to leave a little bit early and come home. So you ain't going to be playing. I believe it's tomorrow or tonight. I think there's a Dutch game tomorrow night, I believe. I think it might be tomorrow night. But yeah, he's not going to be involved and he's going to go home to Liverpool, which is fantastic. Which is absolutely fantastic. You know, we need Virgil. I keep saying it. Virgil is Liverpool's. Yeah, I think Frankie got off as well. Yeah. I think it's about the older players and the players that have had injuries in the past. They're just they're looking after them a little bit better, and this is all we've ever wanted from international football. You know, when you've got players who maybe have had bad injuries in the past few years or fitness concerns, I think international football, club football need to come together just to make sure the players' welfare is the most important thing here. You know, it's not about club over international or international over club. It should always should be about player welfare. And I think with Virgil being 33 years of age, you know, there's not much more the Dutch team needs to know about Virgil. He's had one game. He's been with the national team. He can go home. You know, look after him. He's 33 now. The man, you know, look after player welfare is extremely important. So I think hopefully the national sides and club sides are starting to realise that, you know, and trying to look after players, man. Why didn't they let? Because Gakpo and Gravenberch are only in their 20s, to be fair. They're young guys. You know, Frankie de Jong's had massive injury issues the last few years. So, and Virgil have had that bad injury issue in the last few years. And obviously, he's 33, going on 34. You know, I'm all for it. I don't mind Gravenberch and Gakpo playing. And with Gravenberch, he hasn't played that much football in about 2 years anyway. So he's going to be absolutely fine. He ain't going to burn out anytime soon. So yeah, I'm all cool with it. I'm all cool with it. Obviously, Salah's been at home. Trent's been at home. You know, we heard that Trent's got like a grade 1 hamstring. It's hardly anything. It's like 3 to 4 weeks out. I think 3 weeks out. You know, Trent probably will be back for the Man City game on the 1st of December. He'll miss the Southampton game. He'll miss the Champions League game, but he'll be back for the Real Madrid game the following weekend. So it's okay. I can live with that. I can live with Trent probably missing one Premier League game. Alisson Becker should be back after international break, which is a massive plus. I know Kieran Kelleher is absolute quality. And I know there's been some discussion in the Liverpool fan base about Kelleher. You know, should he stay as number one? Big up my man K-Mac, who put out his defence of Kelleher. No matter if people agree or disagree, he put out his opinions. And many people have put out opinions. I've seen people, I've seen other Liverpool fans talking about Kelleher. Maybe he should stay in the team. And I've seen people at ESPN FC talking about Kelleher might be able to stay back in the team. Look, in my opinion, I love Kieran Kelleher. He's a great backup, but that is what he is, backup. Now, that might sound harsh. It might sound harsh and out of order on Kelleher, but at the end of the day, he is backup, and Alisson Becker is number one for Liverpool for a reason, man. He's number one for Liverpool for a reason. He's the best goalkeeper. You know, him and Courtois, you know, ter Stegen, Martinez, you know, these are the best goalkeepers in world football. And on his day, there's probably no one better than Alisson Becker. So if he's back and he's injury-free, and he's fit and ready to go, he's going back in the team. You know, do I think he should play against Southampton if he's fit? You know, maybe that Southampton game, you just give Alisson a little bit longer. You keep Kelleher in goal and you bring Alisson back for the Real Madrid and Barcelona and Manchester City games, maybe. Like Kelleher plays the Southampton game. You bring Alisson back for Real Madrid. You bring him back for Man City, and that's his number one spot. Yeah, I did. We'll get to the signings in a bit, my friend. Like this is it's not Jamie Phillips' perfect window. We're going to be talking about Arne Slot. Now, I don't think we're signing anyone personally. Just my opinion, but we're going to look at the transfer rumours that's happening right now. And like Arne Slot's perfect window. That's what we're going to get to in a bit. But yeah, Alisson Becker, yeah. Goes for it. Alisson won't be back for them games, Jamie. I've heard that he's fit. I've heard that he's fit now. So I don't know. Maybe there's miscommunication or something, but I've heard he's fit now. I think Arne Slot said that it'll be available after the international break. Maybe it's maybe he's not ready. Who knows? I just don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going what the manager said. The manager said he'd be ready after the international break. That's all I'm going on. That's all I'm going on. I think he said the only one who won't be ready will be Jota. Jota will have a couple more weeks, a couple more games first. So Jota will probably miss Southampton, miss Real Madrid, miss Man City, and probably be back after the Man City game. Yeah, that's yeah, that's all yeah. Unless I got it wrong, Eugene. Unless I got it wrong. Obviously with who am I thinking of now? You know what? We only bought him this summer and I can't bloody remember his name because he has barely played. Chiesa. So Federico Chiesa apparently is having like a mini pre-season this couple of weeks. They're trying to give him a mini pre-season this couple of weeks to get his fitness up. So Chiesa could be available. That's a could. Alisson, as Eugene says, could be available. That's C. Again, there's no rush because Kelleher is doing well, but when he is available, he will go straight back in. And Jota is going to be probably after the Man City game. And I think Jota I think Liverpool will be looking to get Jota available for the Newcastle game. away to Newcastle. That's probably the target for Jota, I would have thought. And Harvey Elliott should be in the squad for the Southampton game. Should be in the squad for the Southampton game. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, they're the 4 players that are very close to coming back, no matter what, guys. They're the 4 players that are very close to being on their way back right now. Big up LFC Shankly in the house as well. So let me talk about transfers on my side a minute, and then we'll get to what Arne Slot might want, yeah, as the title of this video suggests. So let me talk about transfers for a minute, and this is where you and me might all fall out. This is where I might fall out with everyone on the panel, or everyone in the live chat right now. Guys, what I'm about to say doesn't mean... I'm going to put a thing out right now, yeah? What I'm about to say does not mean I agree with everything FSG are doing, okay? Can I just put that out right now? Because I know what I'm about to say, and people go come to me and go, oh, Jamie, you're an FSG lover. This is why we win nothing, bloody blah, blah, blah. That's not where I'm going down. That's not the route I'm going down to, okay? Let me just put that out there. If it was me, I would sign certain players for certain positions this January. I'm just putting it out there. So, with transfers in mind, the way I look at football, and this is just me looking at football, guys, yeah? Everyone else has far, far different opinions, right? And and it's so subjective as well. I don't think there's any right or wrong. I really don't. It's so subjective. But the way I look at it right now, there is 3 positions. There's 3 positions in world football with the best teams that never have rotation. There's hardly ever rotation in 3 positions on a football pitch. Can anyone tell me them 3 positions on a football pitch that hardly ever get rotated? What's the 3 positions on a football pitch that them players hardly ever get rotated? Guys, let me know in the chat. What are the 3 positions? The 3 positions on the pitch that hardly ever get rotated. Unless there's injuries. Jamrock's got 2 of them. Jamrock's got 2 of them. What's the 3rd one, Jamrock? What's the 3rd one? What's the 3rd one? So it's not striker, in my opinion. What's the 3rd one? So goalkeeper, your number 1 goalkeeper, unless he's injured, never gets rotated. Your number 1 centre back, unless he's injured, never gets rotated. What's the 3rd position? In my opinion, my 3rd position is a defensive midfielder. So it might. I'm not talking just for Liverpool. I'm talking for like most dominant top level sides. Unless there's injuries or suspensions, your number 1 goalkeeper plays every game. Your number 1 centre back plays every game, and your number 1 defensive midfielder plays every game. Yeah, unless there's injuries or suspensions, them 3 players in them 3 positions for me play every single game most of the time. Like most of the time. Look at all the top clubs in world football in recent last 10 years. Usually their number 1 goalkeeper plays, their number 1 centre half plays, and their number 1 DM always plays. Yeah, that's, you know, that is just the way it is. Yeah, they always play. You know, you can rotate them in different competitions, obviously, but if you're playing Premier League and Champions League, the two main competitions in football is your league you play in and the Champions League. Yeah, FA Cup, League Cup, any foreign domestic cup, Europa League, Conference League, you can have rotation to save legs and stuff like that, yeah. But for the main 2, League and Champions League, that's where there's no real rotation, right? And I've been talking about this for ages. I have been talking about this for donkeys. Virgil van Dijk, I know he's 33 years of age and everyone's scared about him dying on the football pitch. I hear it, right? But he's as fit as a fiddle. He's strong as an ox. He doesn't go through that much work in a game. Why would I rest Virgil van Dijk? Like, I'm being serious now. I'm being serious. If I'm a top manager and I've got Virgil van Dijk as my centre back, and I've got a Premier League game, no matter who against, why in the hell would I rest Virgil van Dijk? I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. You know, it could cost you points. Could cost you points. I wouldn't rest Virgil. Virgil's always in my team. He starts every game. If Alison Becker is fit and he's not injured, plays every Premier League game. And my DM is Ryan Gravenberch. And if Ryan Gravenberch is fit and available, he plays every single Premier League game. Simple as that. It's simple as that. Rodri plays every Champions League game, every Premier League game. I know he's injured right now, but he plays every game for the last few years. Sergio Busquets for Barcelona played every game. You know, played every single game. Played every single game. You know, they don't get rested. They don't get dropped. You know, they don't get rested. You don't get dropped. I am not for resting your centre-back partnership in Premier League games. It's a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. You have 5 substitutions now. 5. You can take them off in the middle of a game. Take them off in the middle of a game. Keep saying this. You can change half your outfield with your 5 substitutions. You don't need to rest players as much as you used to. Not with 5 substitutions in a game. Not with 5 substitutions in the game. The reason Liverpool are better defensively this season, there's two pointers to it. One, the tactics, and the second one is that Virgil and Konate play together every week. They play together every week. When you've got a solid backline that play together every week, you're going to be more successful. You just are. Look at all the best centre-back partnerships in Premier League history. They basically play together all the time. Yeah? Unless there's suspensions or injuries. And you rest them where you can rest them. Like, I don't need to see Virgil and Konate playing against Southampton in the League Cup quarter-final. They don't need to. Yeah? It's a League Cup quarter-final, right? Virgil and Konate don't have to play that game. They can sit it out, yeah? Do I want Virgil and Konate playing against Real Madrid? Yeah. Do I want Virgil and Konate playing against Southampton after international break? Yes. Do I want Virgil and Konate playing against Man City on the 1st of December? Yes. Do I need them playing the League Cup game? No. If we beat Real Madrid, we have qualified for the next stage of the Champions League with 15 points already, with 4 games spare. 3 games spare. So when we play Girona in the Champions League, do I need Virgil and Konate playing together that game? No, because we've already qualified. You can rest one. That's where you get your rest for players, guys. That's where you get your rest for players. But most of the time, teams play. Teams play. They just do. They just do. There's this myth about rotation, right? Everyone goes, oh, Man City rotate all the time. Not really. They rotate the same 3 players in and out. It's the same 3 players in and out all the time. Don't really rotate. Don't really rotate. You know, the only reason Man City rotate their defence so much is because they get injured all the time. When Ruben Diaz won PFA Player of the Year, he played every game, played every minute, and got PFA Player of the Year. Man City won the Premier League. They get injuries all the time, so they have to rotate. If your teams are fit, I don't believe in rotation. I think it's a myth. I honestly do. I think full rotation of too many players ruins your chances of winning anything. It ruins your chances of winning anything. It does. I'm not stuck in the 90s, guys. Maybe you guys are. So you want to rest Virgil and lose points. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Plant teams rotate before injuries arise. Who rotates? Tell me everyone who rotates and I'll sit here and be wrong. Tell me everyone who rotates. Don't give me the Man City shit. Man City rotate the same 3 players in and out. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. It's bollocks. Yeah. What do you want to rotate, guys? How many games do you want to give Virgil off in the Premier League? How many games do you want to give Virgil off in the Premier League? Just let me know. How many games do you want Virgil not to start in the Premier League this season? Give me a number. So you don't want Virgil playing 5 games in the Premier League this season, Jamrock? What if we lose all 5 of them games? What if we lose all 5 of them games, or draw 3 of them games and lose 1 and win 1? Do we need Virgil against Southampton in the Premier League? Of course we do. Am I losing the plot? Yes, of course you do. Oh my word. Jesus, guys. Wow. How many games did Rodri miss before his injury, guys? Let me know. In the Premier League. Like in the Premier League, as a DM for, if he weren't suspended and he weren't injured, I don't think Rodri was the least rotated player for Man City. Do we all agree with that? Rodri was the least rotated player for Man City. I think we can all agree with that, yeah, because he's so important. Now, the reason Rodri's out for a season is he got a bad injury. It don't mean it's got nothing to do with the amount of games he's played. And by the way, I'm only talking about Premier League here, guys. I'm not talking about all competitions. Don't get this wrong, yeah? I'm only really talking about Premier League, yeah? As I keep saying, they don't... for domestic cup competitions, rotate Virgil and Konate and Gravenberch all day long. We've already seen it. They rotate. Gravenberch don't even make League Cup squads, yeah? So he's being rested. He's not even played a League Cup game this season. He probably won't even play the 3rd round of the FA Cup unless we play like Man United or Man City or someone like that. Like Gravenberch probably won't even play the 3rd round of the FA Cup. So he's getting his rest. He's getting his rest in. You know, we bring him off as a substitute. You know, he's not always playing full 90 minutes. So I'm only really talking about the Premier League. I'm only really talking about the Premier League. That's all I'm talking about. Champions League, you can pick your moments because of the group stages and stuff like that. But when you get the pure knockout, unless you win the first leg 4 or 5-0, the second leg, yeah, you can rest them, can't you? You can rest them. You can pick and choose your resting. But in the Premier League, if you guys want to win the Premier League games and Premier League matches, the less rotation, the better chance you've got winning the Premier League. Simple as that. You need great squads to come in when there's injuries, when there's substitutes need to be made, because Virgil and Konate might play together and have a really shit game. So you're like, oh, Virgil's had a crap game this time. Bring him off at the hour mark. Bring Joe Gomez on. Yeah? You know, that's what 5 substitutes are there for, guys. I've always been at the... Like, I won't be... I think coaching and conditioning, if you coach and condition your players better, they will get less injuries, in my opinion. Coaching and conditioning should be the 2 main aspects of your football club. Before anything, coaching and conditioning. And if you do that better, your players will get probably less injured in that time. Now, if you've got an injury-riddled player and you're worried about him, I can understand rotation. Also, and secondly, I'm not arguing for the fact that no one should be rotated either. I'm talking about 3 or 4 key players to a football team. Everyone else around them can be rotated. Don't get it wrong. I'm not saying you play the first 11 and the first 11 never gets rotated. That would be madness. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying 3 or 4 key players in your first team probably should play the majority of games. And I'm not sitting here either and saying that Virgil van Dijk should play 38 Premier League games and all of them should be 90 minutes. I'm not saying that either. You know, he can start 38 Premier League games, but he doesn't always have to complete 90 minutes either. So I'm saying that. Same with Konate. You know, with Konate, I can understand if you want to drop Konate out for 1 or 2 games in the season just to protect him because he has had injuries since he's been at Liverpool. But I'd rather him play as many games as humanly possible. Robbo and Tsimikas can rotate. I'm fine with that. Trent and Conor Bradley can rotate. I'm fine with that. But I'd still want your top left back and your top right back to play most of the games. Gravenberch, I want Gravenberch to play all 38 Premier League games. He's our best defensive midfielder. You know? But look after him. Make sure he gets good conditioning. Make sure, you know, he might have a day off and doesn't, maybe trains one less day than everyone else just to look after him, conditioning him. You know, doesn't have to play a full 90-minute match either. Salah, he doesn't really play all 90 minutes every game. Salah comes off quite a bit. Actually, we substitute Salah now more than we ever used to. So Salah comes off the pitch quite a lot now. He doesn't always complete 90 minutes. Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo rotate nicely. Darwin Núñez and Jota have been rotating until Jota got injured. So there is rotation in the squad nicely. But the key men in Alisson Becker if he's fit, Virgil, Konate and Gravenberch, for me, are the keys for us winning the Premier League title. And Mo Salah. They're the keys for us winning the Premier League title. So I personally need Salah to play as much as he can, Gravenberch to play as much as he can, Virgil play much as he can, and Konate to play much as he can. Them 4 outfield players alone can drag us to the Premier League title. We need them playing as much as we can, and everyone else can rotate around them. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. You know, that's just, you know, that's just my opinion. So people might have, what I said, I think people at the beginning have got what I said completely wrong. I think a lot of you, Sleepy Forest and all you guys, were thinking I said don't rotate anyone. Yeah? I didn't say that. I said the 4 key players in our team should start every game. I also said at the beginning of this video, that is why you have 5 substitutions. So you can rotate them in game. A lot of people were talking about not starting play. I'm not doing a Premier League game and not starting Virgil van Dijk. That's madness. Absolute madness. You know, it's just, I don't get that kind of, I don't understand that. You want to win the Premier League title. Everyone's got a first 11. Every Premier League team and every Premier League manager will have their best first 11. And every Premier League manager would love to play their best first 11 for as many games as they humanly can. Of course, with the pile up of fixtures and all that, you have to pick and choose. But even when they pick and choose, even Jurgen Klopp, who moaned about fixtures constantly, who's the 4 players he always played? Alisson, Virgil, Salah, them 3 alone. No matter what competition. Remember the Europa League? Everyone was moaning, why are we always playing Salah and Virgil in Europa League games? Why are we not resting them? It's because everyone else got rotated, but they were so key to what he did, they had to play. Yeah, it's, you know, rotate, make substitutions, but for me, we have to start our key players in most games, guys, if we want to win Premier League titles, guys. We have to start. You know, we have to start most of our team. Jamrock. Why is it madness, my friend? Why is it madness to start Virgil in every single game? He doesn't have to complete 90 minutes. You know, he doesn't have to complete. He doesn't have to compete 90 minutes every game. You know, if we're 4-0 up in a game with 30 minutes to go, Virgil can come off and have a lovely break, can't he? He's only played a 60-minute game. I'd rather Virgil start a game, though, and then come off in the game than not start a game. What would you prefer, actually? What would everyone prefer? Say where Virgil's not playing the game, yeah? Virgil didn't start the game, but we're losing 1-0. And we've got 30 minutes left. We're losing 1-0. And Arne Slot feels like he has to bring Virgil on. You know, Virgil has to come on, yeah? Would you rather Virgil come on for 30 minutes when we're losing 1-0? Or would you rather Virgil start the game, we win 1-0, and then you take Virgil off? So I'm not talking about that everyone has to play 90 minutes because that's madness. You know, it's just madness to me. Chairman says you don't need to start Virgil on every game in the Premier League. So don't we all agree in the Premier League, Low Jamrock, that our league is a bit special because the bottom team in the Premier League can beat the top team in the Premier League if they're not 100% on it? I think we all agree with that, yeah? Like Southampton could beat Liverpool on Saturday, yeah? On Sunday, sorry. Southampton could beat... There's not a world where we go to Southampton on Sunday, who's bottom of the league, Liverpool top of the league, and we get upset and lose 1-0. That could happen. It could happen. It's not unfeasible. Even if you've got good rotation, it can happen. And that's the difference between, I think, football management and football fans. You know, I think that's the difference between us as fans and managers. It's such a... you know, it's such a results business now. It's so driven as a results business that managers are under a microscope so much. So if a manager drops out, you know, a Virgil and a Salah for a Premier League game and they're not injured, all the pundits are going to talk about why. You know, pundits and people will go, so why is Virgil and Mo on the bench when they're not injured and they're perfectly fine? And people will talk about it. You know, and if you lose that game, the manager then is under a huge microscope. It doesn't matter how good your rotation is. You know, it doesn't matter how good your rotation is. Look at Man City when they lost the Champions League final to Chelsea and he left Rodri on the bench. He put Rodri on the bench. He got absolutely lambasted for it. He didn't play one DM against Chelsea, and Chelsea went on to win the Champions League that year. He didn't play one defensive midfielder. Left Rodri and everyone on the bench. Went with a weird midfield. Got beaten comfortably. Chelsea won the European Cup. Got lambasted for it. He never did it again. Learned his lesson. Next Champions League final, Rodri's playing. Go on to win the Champions League. They're under the microscope so much, man. So much. Big up, Noel. And that's why substitutions are very, very important, Jamrock. You know, that's why substitutions are very, very important. Look, I'll tell you what, let's go through it. Because a lot of you bring up good points and I'm going to disagree with you guys. As I said, it is subjective. We're all going to have different opinions on this, yeah? Should we go through it? Should we go through our fixtures, guys? Should we go through our fixtures? Because you guys do bring up good points. You honestly do. Again, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Jamie Phillips, it's my channel, my opinion. I'm just letting you know I don't believe it in as much as some of you guys do. And you're bringing up good arguments. I'm not going to say you're wrong because no one is. I'm not right. Jamrock's not. Like, we're all, it's so subjective, guys. It's so subjective. Like, but we'll go through, let's go through the fixtures, guys. Let's go through the fixtures because I think this is it is a good debate to have, guys. This is a good debate to have. Right. What I'll do, I'll get the fixtures on the screen, guys. So we'll go through it. We'll go through it together. Yeah. Let's go through this together, guys. Let's go through this together. What I do, I put it on big screen. You can hear me in the background, okay? I'll make that a little bit bigger. Right. There we go, guys. So, our first game is Southampton on Sunday. Away. Difficult game. Coming back from international football, away to Southampton. That's a difficult game for me, guys. That's a difficult game, right? Then we're at home to Real Madrid. Then we're at home to Man City. Then we're away to Newcastle. There are 4 games. In what game there in them 4 games there, how many of you rest Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah and Konate? Let me know, guys. What game there do we rest Virgil van Dijk, Konate and Mo Salah? And Gravenberch? What games out of them 4? And then we can keep going on. I want my best team against Real Madrid. I want my best team against Man City. And I want my best team away to Newcastle. We ain't got to Girona yet. 0. No. None. Yeah, exactly. Southampton is no gimme after the away game, after the international break. Yeah, exactly. So Sleepy Forest is saying, if you want to rotate Southampton and Girona only. Yeah, I'm with you on the Girona. But I'm only going these first 4 games here. I'll get to Girona and Everton in a minute. Southampton, Real Madrid, Man City, Newcastle. That Newcastle game's a tricky away game, guys. It really is a tricky away game. Now, the Southampton game, I think, is the game where you go get the most rotation. Do we all agree? I think Southampton's a tricky game after the international break, yeah? Do we all agree with that? That Southampton's actually quite a tricky game after the international break, especially away from home. I know they're like bottom of the Premier League and they're crap, but they gave Arsenal a tricky game, yeah? No, he's not got an injury, Sleepy Forest. He's just been allowed to go home early, my friend. He's just been allowed to go home early. He's just been allowed to go home early by the manager. Either Liverpool's Twitter put it up. So Southampton away. And you can't underestimate Southampton. Exactly. This is what I've been saying, guys. This is all I've been saying. I think our team against Southampton is Kelleher, Simicast, Gomez, Konate, Trent, Jones, McAllister, Bosley, Gakpo, Diaz, Salah. We beat them. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you could probably play Gomez for this game. But what if we lose that game playing Gomez and Konate? See, why are we playing Konate and not Virgil? Is it because his age? I don't think so. I believe. I might be wrong here, guys, but the yeah, no, let's do it if we lose. I love BW. We can have a laugh. See, guys, this is what it's all about. We're just having a debate here. There's no hate. We're all loving it. We're all having a laugh here. I think the last international break, guys, we did. I don't know if I'm wrong. After the last international break, I don't think Slot played any of the South American or Asian players, did he? So Endo didn't play, McAllister didn't play, Darwin didn't play, and Luis Diaz didn't start that game. None of them started that game, the game after our last international games, did they? Because they came home the latest. So maybe because Virgil's come home early, because the Netherlands boss and Liverpool and all that have had this thing where they're looking after him and it's about player welfare. Because he's come home early, He's literally got almost a week's rest now till the Southampton game. So Virgil's going to play, yeah? So Virgil's going to play. You play Virgil. He's come home. You know, the Southampton, Liverpool and the Dutch team came home. He came home. Everything's fine with him. I believe there's no injury. I believe it was just like a precautionary mat tail so they don't get burnt out and injured. I think there's more player welfare. So if Virgil's fine, then Virgil plays against Southampton, guys. Yeah? He's had rest. I mean, he'd be back in Liverpool probably later today. And he won't be playing till Sunday. You know, that's a lot of rest, guys. That's a lot of 6 days. 6 days rest for Virgil van Dijk. It's a lot of rest. So he can play against Southampton. I literally think against Southampton, I think he won't play any of the South American players. Do we agree? Do we all agree against Southampton away, we don't see any of the South American players? Like last time. So I think we can all agree. Real Madrid, we're going to want our strongest 11. We'll go what? Yeah, Jammer, my friend, I'm going through your point. This is what I'm saying. I'm going through your point here. So this is 4 games in a week, Jamrock, that we're talking about. So we're all agreeing Virgil plays against Southampton because he's had 6 days rest. We're all agreeing that no rotation against Real Madrid, maybe a striker or something like that, or a Gakpo or a Luis Diaz. Yeah, but I think we all agree Konate, Virgil, Gravenberch and Salah, yeah? At home to Man City, I think we all agree Virgil, Konate, Gravenberch and Mo Salah, yeah? And away to Newcastle, which is a very tricky game. We've just seen that happen with Arsenal. Newcastle is starting to pick up form. It'll be a tricky game, although we usually beat Newcastle away. 7:30 kickoff under the lights in Newcastle will be a tricky game. I think we're looking at probably Salah playing, Virgil playing, Konate playing if he's not injured, and Gravenberch playing if they're not injured or suspended. And then you rotate the rest of them, yeah, like either Diaz or Gakpo or Jota or Darwin or whatever you want to do. Conor Bradley or Trent, Robbo or Simicast. That's all cool. Then you got Everton, Liverpool, Merseyside derby. You have to play your best team. Now the Girona game's a little bit different because in the Girona game, if Liverpool beat Real Madrid, Liverpool will already be qualified. Liverpool will already be qualified for the next stages of the Champions League. So in this Girona game away, guys, I'm with you. You can rest the Virgil. You can go, Virgil, sit this one out, son. We're going to give you a little break because you just played 3 games in a row in a week. You're going to be a little tired. We're going to give you a break. Virgil, you sit the Girona game out. Yeah? Perfect. I'm with everyone now. And then the Fulham game you're bringing back for, yeah? Then, so say Salah say you rest Gravenberch and Virgil against Girona, yeah? You rest Gravenberch and Virgil against Girona. You bring them back for the Fulham game, but then you rest them both for the Southampton game in the League Cup, yeah? So Virgil and Gravenberch both rested for the Southampton game in the League Cup. So then you could say Gravenberch and Virgil would have only played against Everton and Fulham in that period of time between the 7th of December and the 18th of December, and they wouldn't have played them 2 games, and then they're back for the Tottenham game. So they would only played 2 games in the space of that time between the 7th of December and the 22nd of December. That is where the manager might be looking to rest players. That's why the Real Madrid game could be good for us, because if we beat them, then if you beat them, then you got a big chance of like coasting through a little bit. So you play your Salahs, your Gravenberches, your Virgils against Everton. You rest them against Girona. You play them against Fulham. You rest them against Southampton in the League Cup. You bring them back for Tottenham for the busy Christmas schedule. then that way they've only played 2 games between the 7th of December and the 22nd of December. So that's where you find your rest and rotation, if that makes sense. It's interesting, and I understand what you guys are saying as well. I get what you guys are saying as well. We have to find areas. We have to find areas in the season where players can rest. There's no doubt about this. You have to. All right? But I'm just saying, like, when we're picking through fixtures there, things have got to go our way, obviously. Because if we do beat Real Madrid, fingers crossed, yeah, we get across the line against Real Madrid. Puts us on 15 points. They've pretty much said that the way everything's going right now, 15 points is enough to get you qualified for the next stages of the Champions League. Yeah. You're qualified for the next stages without playing the playoffs. You can come bottom of the 8. You can come 8 from 15 points. It should be enough to mathematically get you through to the next stages. If that is the case, then against Girona, you're cool. You can just drop a few players out, can't you? Southampton in the League Cup, you can look at that and go, right, let's drop them 2 out. Squad should be good enough to get through Southampton in the League Cup quarter-final. Let's put this in and put that in. And then between the Everton game and the Spurs game, Virgil and Salah and Gravenberches might have only played 2 games that whole time. And that's where you get your rest. That's where you find your rest for them. That's where you find your rest. Yeah, and then you got the Boxing Day Leicester game. And we all know what happened the last time we played Leicester on Boxing Day. Winner won the Premier League. So, yeah. Gotta be good. Like, so it's interesting. I think it's a really good debate to have. Big up Jamrock in the chat and big up everyone else in the chat as well, going back and forward with me there. That's what I love. I hope Jamrock's still about. Let me know if you're still about, Jamrock. Who plays up front without the South Americans, Jamie? I think you can go Gakpo. Oh, that's a good point, actually, because we ain't got Jota fit. It's a good point. That's a good point. He might have to play Darwin in that. I think Diaz comes back earlier before Darwin. I think if that's the case, he might go Diaz, Gakpo, Salah. I would definitely got to rest. Guys, we have definitely got to rest McAllister because we know Scaloni loves playing McAllister for Argentina. So he will play for Argentina. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. McAllister will play for Argentina. And McAllister is dead on his feet. I personally do not want to see McAllister against Southampton. I will try not to see one of either Diaz or Darwin against Southampton either. We're going to have to play one of them because of Jota's injuries. And I don't know if Chiesa's going to be fit. I mean, if Chiesa was fit and flying, I would literally just go Gakpo, Chiesa, Salah. If Chiesa was fit and flying, but he ain't. And Jota won't be back in time, which is shit. Because if Jota was back in time, you just go Jota, Gakpo, Salah, don't your job done. You go Curtis Jones, Gakpo, and Szoboszlai midfield. Yeah. Yeah, that might be his only thing where he's going to have to look at it. Yeah, it might be his only. That might be one that he's going to have to play one of them, definitely, just because of the injury to Jota. But it's a good debate to have, guys. It is a good debate to have. As I say, the manager will be doing the same thing, you know. Arne Slot will be sitting there saying we've got a lot of games coming up between now and New Year's Day, as it's pretty much 2 or 3 games a week. And Arne Slot will be looking at it like we're looking at it right now. Where can I big up everyone subscribing, much love. Where can I find these players to rest them? Because I need to play that player. I need to play that player. These games are too important. Where can I find rest for these players in the fixture list? And they're probably going to be looking down at it. And I think they will be looking. I think they're probably going to be looking at that little period there, that block of 4 games where we got Fulham, Girona, Everton, and Southampton in the League Cup. If we beat Real Madrid, and this is a big if factor, if we beat Real Madrid, be on 15 points, the Slot can look at it and go, right, I can actually give people like Virgil and Gravenberch and Mo maybe a bit of a rest in the Girona game because it's not must win. The League Cup quarter-final, it's a quarter-final, but I don't want to go out of a League Cup quarter-final, but I think Slot will look at it and feel like Southampton might make a few changes themselves because I think Southampton would rather survive relegation and win the League Cup. So Southampton might rotate a bit and he's going to sit there and think, you know, my squad should be okay enough if I leave Virgil out of the League Cup game and a Gravenberch out of that League Cup game. So that's where he can find the rest of two of his superstar players that he relies on so far. And then you got Fulham and in the Tottenham game, literally, if he can do that, Virgil and people like Virgil and Gravenberch were arrested between the 7th of December to the 22nd of December. And that's where you find your rest period. So, yeah, it's interesting, guys. The rotation bit's interesting. I think I think we're all... And I think we all understand where we're all coming from. I understand where you guys in the chat are coming from about rotation. I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say about I want our key players to play as much football as humanly possible to get us over the line and win things because they're that important. And we're trying to look at ways of doing it. So big up to you. Honestly says, breaking news, Trent has been seen filming a video in the area he grew up in with a lot of security and LFC filming crew. Ooh, what we saying? What we saying, guys? What we saying? What we saying? Big up honesty. Interesting. Interesting. Breaking news. Trent's been seen filming a video in the area. Grew up in West Derby, whatever you want to call it. That's where he grew up, wasn't it? West Derby. That's where Trent's from, ain't it? Interesting. Interesting. It could be anything, though. It could just be a video about Trent. It could be anything. Big up promo says, you think young Rio gets a debut this season? I think on the FA Cup third round promo, it all depends on who's getting around. If we get, like, I don't know, a Huddersfield or something like that, and it's at Anfield, so we get, like, I don't know, a Wickham or a Huddersfield or a Bristol Rovers or something like that in the League Cup third round. I think he might play a game. He's had a fair bit of first team training recently as well. So, yeah. Big up my man Ends in the chat as well. You're doing well, man. I thought you said arrested. I bit my tongue 2 weeks ago, Ends. I bit my tongue 2 weeks ago and it's still swollen. So I'm lisping a bit. It's really annoying. Yes, an interview curious. Yeah, Trent's from West Derby only, or Derby, however you want to pronounce it. Shuddersfield. Yeah, it's interesting though. And that gets me on the point of the rest of the news here. I didn't mean to go so much in. Could be a goodbye video. But what? Oh dear. I don't think it'd be that early, man. I don't think it'd be that early. Double A says Jane could be one of those spend a day of a player videos. Yeah, as they do a lot of that at Liverpool, don't they? Especially if it's you know, is it the Nivea ones they do with the channel where they get a fan and Nivea sends the player out and they do all that stuff? Yeah, could be his extend, could be a goodbye video, could be anything. Yeah, exactly. Could be filming a Real Madrid where could be. It could be filming a Real Madrid where I grew up with. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. It's with that Scouskel. Oh, that's what it is with then. That's what it is then. It's a day out with the player. Yeah. That's what it is then. But yeah, I didn't mean to go so much on the fixtures. I just thought, you know, I was just making a point that for me, you know, Salahs and the Gravenberch and the Virgils for me. If we want to win a Premier League title, have to play as many games as possible and try not to rotate them too much. Like, they got to start most of the games. That's just my opinion. Some of you disagreed, and we had a little discussion about it. I brought the fixtures up till Boxing Day, trying to pick on where we could find where you rest them. Some of you couldn't even find a place where we rested them. So it's a very interesting take and a very interesting look at what our manager's got to go through between now and Boxing Day. You know, what Arne Slot's got to go through. And that brings me to the whole transfer stuff right now, because I still believe we won't buy anyone. That's just me personally, but I'm going to report on rumours that are happening right now because, you know, we're a Liverpool channel. You know, if I'm not going to be talking about rumours, what am I going to be talking about? You know what I'm saying? So obviously there's a couple of rumours going around right now. Obviously the rumours for, is it Cherki, the Lyon number 10/ right winger? A lot of news going about him right now. Liverpool apparently been looking at him from last season. Liverpool looked at him last season. My understanding is as well, Liverpool looked at him in the summer, but they chose to go for Federico Chiesa instead. So that is my understanding. What I've heard on the grapevine is that Liverpool were looking at Cherki in the summer, but decided to go for Federico Chiesa instead. But with the news coming out right now about Lyon's issues, Lyon are going through a lot of financial problems. By the sounds of it, Lyon are going to be relegated at the end of the season. They're going to have restrictions on their salaries, and they're going to have a transfer ban by the sound of it. So players like Cherki are going to be extremely cheap. It's going to be extremely cheap. And as Chill says there, exactly. Very opportunistic. Exactly. He's going to be extremely cheap, and he works in, you know, the only thing, and Jamrock says it here, this is the only thing that goes against him. Apparently he has a disciplinary issue. People say that mentally he's not, you know, physically and technically he's a tremendous footballer. He's an absolute baller, as the kids would say. He's like a street player, ain't he? He's extremely talented, but apparently his own personal side of it lets him down. You know, that lets him down. But obviously his goal to game ratio isn't the best either. It's like 8 to 10 goals in the time he's been playing for Lyon. His goal to game ratio is not the best. But it all depends what Liverpool see in him. Now, they might just see a very technical young man that they could get the best out of at a very good price. You know, the rumours are that Liverpool could pick him up for as cheap as 11 million quid with the problems Lyon have got right now. I think Lyon put 25 million euros on him, which works out, I don't know, about 18 to 20 million pounds, something like that. It depends how the exchange rate is that day, but it works out still very, very cheap for a kid of his quality, you know, his technical quality. But apparently Liverpool feel they can get him cheaper. Now, we've got an issue in the number 10 area. I think even Arne Slot has admitted it himself. Arne Slot's not too happy with the 10 area right now. You know, he's played Diaz there. He's played Curtis Jones there. And he's played, obviously, Szoboszlai there. He's not completely happy with that position right now. He's even made mention of it with Szoboszlai. Pretty much like he needs to have more GA if he's going to be playing in that position. So even the manager said it himself. So, you know, I know Cherki can play right wing, but I do think he can play in the 10 as well. You know, and if he's playing that 10 area with his technical ability, it could open things up for Liverpool. It definitely could. So maybe that's a transfer. At the moment, you know, it's just rumours and hearsay, but, you know, no one's really come out and knocked it on the head right now. I do feel like it is a player Liverpool will definitely look at. They will definitely look at him. But we know personality and mentality and all that is a big thing for Liverpool. We really do. So it's an interesting one. It definitely is. It definitely is. Big up, honestly, tagging me. Big up, man. I'll go and check all that out in a bit. What was the other news? So the other news was to do with the Liverpool left back. Now, this one's interesting. So Liverpool have apparently has had a bid of £35 million rejected from Bournemouth for Hungarian fullback Kerkez. So that is the news going around today, that Liverpool have had a £35 million bid rejected from Bournemouth for Kerkez. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if Kerkez moves you guys. Kerkez don't really move me in that way. He's not a left back I would particularly go for, in my opinion. Do I think he's better than what we got there already with Tsimikas and Robbo? I don't know, to be fair. Like, I really don't know. I don't know if he's out of there is he that much better? Is he a left back that's going to take us to the next? Is he a left back that is going to take us to the next? The next part of where we're going to try and go for League and Champions Leagues. Is he a left back that's going to help us take us there, or is Robbo Tsimikas enough for now? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Liverpool apparently put a £35 million bid in. We'll take this from a pinch of salt from the people that quoted it. But apparently Bournemouth want 45 million. Now, for me, Kerkez is not worth 45 million quid. He's just not. He's not. But there is some other aspects to his game. He is 21 years of age. We can physically see him playing well in the Premier League this season. Most of us, we watch the Premier League. We watch Bournemouth games because Bournemouth are quite a decent team to watch. And Kerkez has been performing extremely well for Bournemouth. We've watched Kerkez at the Euros this summer where he played very well. So we've seen Kerkez play for his national side and for Bournemouth, and he has played well. There is a talent there. I'm not saying he's crap or anything. There is definitely a talent there, and he's 21 years of age. Liverpool might feel like he is the left back for the future, the present and the future. He's the left back that will play under Arne Slot for the next 4 to 5 to 6 years, yeah? He might be his left back that he wants to go and get. He might look at Robbo and Tsimikas, think, Robbo's been here 7 years. His legs are not quite what they used to be. Tsimikas is technically a decent footballer, but he's not that top draw left back that maybe Slot wants. So maybe Slot is looking at someone like Kerkez. Him and Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards getting together, going, what's your left back? And he might be really liking Kerkez. They might see a lot in him, and there's a lot of potential there where they feel like in the next 8 to 9 years, 5 to 9 years, he can be excellent for Liverpool in that left back area, and it's the right choice. But it all comes down to price. And 45 million, that just don't sit well with me. I don't know about you guys. It just don't sit right with me. Doesn't sit right with me, 45 million. Even 35 is a little bit too high. Even 35 sounds a bit too high to me. I think without Wanori as well, who would you guys in the chat rather get? If Liverpool had to get a left back in the Premier League this season, would you rather spend 45 million on Wanori or Kerkez? What one you go get? Give me a name in the chat, guys. If you had a 45 million to spend on a left back, they're probably the same price. What one you go get? We've been linked to Wanori before. I actually think Kerkez is a better defender than Wanori. I think Wanori is more technical, and because of his technique, because of his technique, Altonori might be a better choice for an Arne Slot side than Kerkez. But I actually think Kerkez is a better defender. I don't know about you guys in the chat. I literally do think. I think Kerkez is a better defender than Altonori, but Altonori is technically better than Kerkez. And because of that, Altonori might fit Liverpool's Arne Slot's team more than a Kerkez done because of his technical ability. You know, that'd be my only. Yeah. Yeah, and Altonori's playing further up the pitch right now because he's technically able to, because he has got good technical ability. You know, you couldn't really play Kerkez left midfield like you're playing Altonori right now and have the same output. But I do think Kerkez is a better defender. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Andre. And that's why I'm feeling Kerkez might be the guy, you know, because I think Kerkez is a better. I think he's probably a better prospect because he's 21, and I also think he is a better defender than Altonori. I think, like Chill says, yeah, Altonori, you know, should be a winger or a 10. I don't actually think he's a fullback anymore. I really don't. I think he's got to play further up the pitch. But this is a point as well, because I believe at Feyenoord and at AZ Alkmaar, Arne Slot's left back was the one that always inverted, weren't it? It weren't his right back. It was always his left back, I believe. So yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might be that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, Altonori's a win back. Yeah, he plays more advanced now, don't he? He's technically better. But I do think Kerkez is a better defender. Jamrock saying, bring me Anthony Robinson from Fulham. Is he 27? Now, I'm not going to go on age is a problem. I've said this before. That's why I said I'd keep Virgil and Salah till the day they retire, because I don't see them getting like that bad that you have to sell them. As long as you're fit and healthy, get players. But if Anthony Robinson's 27 and he'll probably be around the same price as Kerkez at 21, then Liverpool go get the 21-year-old, don't they? But I hear you. I've liked Anthony Robinson for quite a while as well, Jamrock. Murillo plays ahead of Virgil. No. So does he just sit on the bench and come in for a few games? Makes no sense. He's been good because he plays. Yeah, and this is the problem we got. This is the problem we got, and I'm with Scraps there. I think we all agree that Murillo's a good defender, but he's not, at this moment in time, he's not better than Virgil and Canate. And if they're not going to be rested that much and rotated that much, then someone like Murillo, who's playing every week, it's not going to get a lot of game time. Murillo's someone you go and buy to maybe replace Virgil with. That's what I'd probably do. But I think we all agree he's a top defender. Bring out Crimson Copite. Hi, James. Can't wait for your thoughts on Trent. Big everyone in chat. Like, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. So yeah, like the Kerkez stuff. Look, what does Slot want? And this is why I titled the video in this way. Slot's perfect window in the winter window. Would it be Cherki and Kerkez? Is he looking? Have we changed what we need as a priority now? So at the beginning of the season, our priority was a defensive midfielder. Yeah. Well, Gravenberch is that defensive midfielder now, and I don't want to hear people telling me he's not a defensive midfielder, because that would do my nutting, because he is. Yeah. He's just a different kind of defensive midfielder. He's not a destroyer like a Polinia or an Ugarte, yeah? But he's still a defensive midfielder. I believe he's won the ball back more times than anyone in Europe and the Premier League this season as a midfielder as well. His ball carrying is of a high degree. He's got good pace, good athleticism. He's got decent passing. His passing is not great, but it's decent. But his ball carrying, his interceptions, and his reading of the game are second to none. So yeah, he is a DM, and if he's Liverpool's DM this season, you don't need to really go and buy another DM. What you need to do, if you're a Liverpool Football Club, I'd go and buy another 8, and I'd go and buy another number 8 to rotate with McAllister. That's personally what I would go and do. I'd go and get another number 8 that can rotate with McAllister, who's more of a deep line player, not a box-to-box number 8, more like a 6/8, if that makes sense. Like a number 8 that's more of a controlling midfielder. Like you can get midfielders that are controlling midfielders but are not DMs, but are just not box-to-box. That's, I think, what Liverpool should be looking for. More like a controlling midfielder in that area of the pitch. So rotate with McAllister and keep things fresh there. But if I'm looking at it right now, Zubimendi was in for Zubimendi in the summer, and it weren't going to be Gravenberch playing with him. It was going to, I think Slot already said it himself. It was going to be Zubimendi and McAllister. That was going to be the double pivot. Yeah. Then we did get Zubimendi, so they played Gravenberch, and Gravenberch has just been like, Slot's just looking at it now and goes, I don't need Zubimendi. I've got Gravenberch now. So do we need to change has Slot changed the way what he feels like he needs now? The emergence of Curtis Jones again this season is now like he's a proper player. All this Curtis Jones stuff has got to die now. He's a proper player. He's maturing and he's becoming a proper player. Is he looking at a 10? Is he looking at Slot decided to go for a number 10 now and go? And that's why we're looking at someone like Cherki who can play in that 10 right wing role. Yeah. He can play right wing, play number 10 area. Maybe that's what we're looking at Cherki for now. Maybe we've changed as the season's gone on. Slot's changed in what he wants in that area of the pitch. I don't know. I don't know what, Slot wants players. I hear all this crap all the time. Slot's happy with the players he's got. Of course he's happy with the players he's got. Look at the players he has. Why would he be unhappy? It's the way. Them articles that come out really pee me off. Slot's happy with his squad. Yeah, cool. No shit. I'd be happy with that squad as well. I've got Allister, I've got Virgil, I've got Trent, I've got Canate, I've got Mo Salah, I've got Gakpo, I've got Diaz, I've got Jota. I've got McAllister. So, but I've got. Of course, he's happy with that squad. It's them articles that come out really piss me off. Yeah, they really piss me off. He's not going to be sitting there going, "No, I'm happy. I'm not happy with this squad. I can't believe I've got Virgil and Allister and Salah and Gravenberch and McAllister. I can't have it. I've got Trent. It's so depressing. So depressing. Them articles really, really pee me off, man. Really pee me off. And, I think what he's looking at, Slot's judging it game by game because he is brand new. We've got to remember this, yeah? I agree our squad is underrated. It's massively underrated. It's not the deepest squad in the world, but it's still underrated because we've seen already this season, by the way. And this is a great point. I keep saying this. Our squad is underrated by the media, but let them underestimate us. Exactly. I think it's been shown that no one's got a great squad in the Premier League. So Man City lose Rodri, they literally go to shit. They literally go to shit. Do you remember the last time Man City lost a very, very important player, guys? In the middle of their season, they lost Laporte. Now, people go, Jamie, losing Laporte's nothing. But everyone's got to remember, back then, when Liverpool won the league, Laporte was Man City's best defender. They couldn't live without him. He was their best centre-back. And when Laporte got injured, City struggled badly. Yeah, because he was so important to them, right? We went and won the Premier League, obviously. But he was extremely important to him, was Laporte, because he could play centre back and he could play that fullback role as well and do a great job. Now they've lost Rodri, who obviously is arguably the best. Well, he's not arguably, he won the Ballon d'Or, for God's sake. He's the best midfielder in the world. Now they've lost Rodri, like they've lost 4 games in a row. Like they struggle without him. We saw Arsenal. Arsenal have struggled without Odegaard. That's one player. They struggled without Odegaard. So this is what I keep saying about squads. No one's got the greatest squad in the world. No one. Everyone struggles when they lose important players. But for some reason, it's just Liverpool. It's just Liverpool. I still hear it now. I was listening to AFTV earlier, and they're going, well, if Liverpool lost Allister, yeah, we did. Keller's done a great job. We've won every game, so what's your point? Then they went, oh, if Liverpool lost Virgil and Mo Salah at the same time, they'd struggle. Yeah, of course we would. They're fucking world class. I mean, I don't know how people have a brain cell. I literally don't. I literally don't know how people have brain cells. So it's always Liverpool. Oh, Liverpool. It's always the same conversation. If Liverpool lose Salah and they lose Virgil, they wouldn't be the same team. No shit. Yeah, take the best centre-back in the world out of your team. Take the best right winger in the world out of your team. Yeah, of course they will be a little bit worse off. Don't matter who your rotation is. Don't matter how good the player behind them who's coming in is. They're still not going to be Salah and Virgil. But the media make out this shit all the time. But Arsenal literally lost Odegaard and changed the way they played and got worse. Rodri has left this Man City team and they've changed the way they played and got worse. But you never hear anything. But if Liverpool lose Salah, it pisses me off. It absolutely pisses me off. It just does my head in. It does my fucking nutting. And then Gary Neville on the overlap. How do Liverpool keep doing it in their midfield? They played a midfield the other day of Gravenberch to Bosley and Curtis Jones, and they blitzed the opposition. Well, maybe, Gary Neville, it's because they're better players than you give them credit for. Maybe it's that. Maybe they're better players than you give them credit for because they haven't got the PR behind them. Yeah? Because they haven't got this PR behind them doesn't mean they're shit footballers. Maybe they're just good footballers, yeah? Maybe that, Gary Neville, yeah? It's not miracles. Again, if Slot wins the league this year, yeah, it'd be a miracle. Yeah, like when Klopp did everything, it was a miracle. Now, I remember also, while I'm on this rant, by the way, and I will carry on being on this rant, yeah? I will carry on being on this rant, right? Because I'm on one now, yeah? I'm on one now, right? I'm on this rant, yeah? PR and transfers and players doesn't mean, like, with players, everyone assumed, like, what was I going to say? With Klopp, sorry. I was going to say Klopp, yeah? So with Klopp, right, all I heard for the last few years that the players ain't actually that good. It was Jurgen Klopp's genius that was getting these players over the line. Our players are not actually that good. And I heard this from actual Liverpool fans, not rivals, some Liverpool fans, actually some Liverpool YouTubers. Our players are not actually that good. It was Jurgen Klopp's miracle work. But these players have played extremely well under a totally different manager, under a totally different coaching setup, under different physios, under different training regimes, and these players are still doing a great job. Maybe these players are better than people give them fucking credit for, yeah? Maybe because they haven't all got the PR behind them, yeah? Maybe because they haven't got a gold FIFA card. Maybe all this shit is crap. Maybe these players are just better than you give them credit for, yeah? How about that? You know, maybe these players are just good. Maybe that's the case. Liverpool are one of the only teams I know in world football that lose the best goalkeeper in the world in Allister fucking Becker, and none of us are worried. Why were none of us Liverpool fans worried that Allister got injured? I don't know why. Because we got the best number 2 goalkeeper in the world, and Guivan Kelleher. That's fucking why. That's why. Liverpool squad is really good, man. Liverpool squad's really good. And again, if Liverpool lost Virgil and Mo Salah at the same time, there will be a little bit of a drop. Of course there will, because you're losing the best centre-back and the best right winger in world football. It don't matter who comes in underneath them. They are not the best right winger and best centre-back in world football. So, of course, there'll be a dip. But why do the media and rival fans only ever mention that? Again, Arsenal lost Odegaard. They changed the way they played and were dog shit and lost games for one player. Man City missed Rodri. Dog shit. All right, recently they got more injuries, but they were still dog shit when Rodri left. Yeah? But no one says anything. Man City had a terrible transfer window. They let go of their second striker and they didn't get a cover for DM for Rodri, yeah? So they had no DM cover and they've only got one striker in Haaland and they got wingers who don't score goals, yeah? No one spoke about it. No one. Arsenal bought Lurch from Real Sociedad. My name's Mourinho. You've got Lurch from Real Sociedad as a central midfielder who's dog shit. They've got an Italian defender that can't defend. The only Italian defender I've ever seen in my life that can't defend. And it made their squad better. But, it just drives me mad. Drives me mad. Fucking drives me absolutely mad, you know. No, it's just absolutely man. That's just me talking about the squads. I'm not going to sit here. I am not going to sit here and say Liverpool squad doesn't need players. I'm not going to sit here and say Liverpool squad's perfect because it's not. Liverpool need players and it's not perfect. But this obsession that the media have got that Arsenal's squad and Man City squad are superior to Liverpool's, it's just BS. It's utter BS because we're looking for it ourselves. The video proof is there for everyone to see. We see it every kickoff when they've not got their star players in their team. They struggle. So Liverpool would struggle without their star players. Man City struggle without their star players. Arsenal struggle without their star players. So this narrative that it's only Liverpool has got to stop. All three teams need work on their squads, need better players in, and they'll all struggle without their star players. I'm sick of this Liverpool narrative that we're the only ones. I never wanted Calafiori, John, personally. I can't speak for any other Liverpool fan, but I do want Calafiori. But yeah, and my thing with transfers as well. My thing with transfers as well, yeah. My thing with transfers as well. I think you should always try and buy a player that is better than your player in your first 11. That's how you get a good squad. And if you look at Man City in recent years, not this summer just gone, but in recent years, Man City have done that. They always buy players usually, apart from your average ones like Calvin Phillips and that, they usually go and buy players that are better. Look, they have Fernandinho as a DM. This says it all. They had Fernandinho as a DM who was arguably the best DM in the league at the time. He was getting older. You know, he went, you know what, we're going to buy Rodri. Yeah? And eventually Rodri overtook it as a bet. Like, you've got to get better players. So I'm not having, like, for me at Arsenal, Calafiori and Marino are not better than anyone in their first 11. Calafiori's not better than Saliba. He's not better than Ben White. He's not better than Gabriel. So it's just a player for a spot in the team. It's just a body. I look at Marino. He's not better than any Arsenal midfielder. He's not going to dislodge a single Arsenal midfielder. He just ain't. So they just bought a body for the squad. I don't want to buy bodies. I don't want to buy bodies. I do not want to buy bodies. I want to buy players that are better than what we've almost got. I want to buy players that are better than we almost got. That's what I want. That's how you build a better squad, guys. That's literally, that's what I want. I mean, is that poor of me? You need, if you want to compete at the highest level, you've got to have, it's very hard to have a squad of 22 to 25 players that are all mustard. That is very difficult. Not even Man City do that, by the way. I know everyone puts Man City on this pedestal, but even Man City fans will tell you they haven't got a squad of 22 players that are all mustard. What Man City have got is a squad of 16 players. They've got a 16 players squad that are all mustard. Yeah. Liverpool arguably have a bigger squad than Man City. Yeah. Arsenal have 16 players that are pretty much near, that, and then they have a massive drop off. Liverpool probably got 16 players in a massive drop off. You need at least 16 players are just mustard. That's what you need, guys. And then you've got good rotation. Then you haven't got drop offs. That's what I want in transfers. So when anyone asks me about transfers, I want better than what we got. Yeah, that's what I want. I just don't want bodies. I've always said this, and this is why I'm happy waiting for transfers. And this is when people come at me. But Jamie, we could get that player, that player, that player, that player. Yes, but are they better than what we got? If they're not, they're just a body. And that's not actually going to help you win things. Yeah? You need better than what you got. So I look at our midfield, yeah? Endo and Tyler Morton, yeah? I look at Endo and Tyler Morton. Them two need to be replaced by better. Go and get me two midfielders that replace them, yeah? That are at a high standard, that are at a very high standard, that then can compete with your Szoboszlai's, your Gravenberches and your McAllisters. That's when you got good rotation. That's when you got a top squad. And unfortunately, there's some players that you can't get better at. And that's why you don't buy them players. This is why Liverpool have never really gone out and bought a right winger. Because of Mohamed Salah. Because Mohamed Salah is the top of his game. Who the hell are you going to buy that's going to compete with Mo Salah? Probably no one. You're just wasting money. You're buying a body just for the sake of the fan base, unhappy that you haven't got a Mo Salah backup. Who you going to buy? It's like having Messi in your team. Messi playing the false nine or the right wing position, yeah? And you go, right, we need a backup for Messi. Why? Why? Why are we wasting our money getting a backup for Messi? Let's spend that money elsewhere because he's got to play every week. He doesn't even want to come off as a sub, man. He's Messi. And that's why Liverpool have had their problems buying in certain areas. I'd rather Liverpool go and, instead of getting a Mo Salah backup for like 30 or 40 million, who's not going to play anywhere near enough games, I'd rather go and get a £40 million midfielder at a high level, £50 million midfielder at a high level that will compete with Alexis McAllister and make our midfield stronger. That's what I'd rather do. Yeah, that's what I'd rather do. Or you get a player that can play in virtually three positions. Go and get a player who can play in three different positions. That's versatile. Yeah. So then if Salah is out, he can go and play in Salah's position, but that's not his actual position. He might be more of a number 10, but he can play right wing if needed. Yeah. That's what you probably have to look at. It's probably what you have to look at. But going out and buying just a straight right winger who can't play anywhere else, he can't play left wing, can't play the 10, he can't play in through the middle, he can only play right wing, he ain't going to play games. Just not going to play games. And his level would have to be so high to take Mo Salah out of the team that you have to probably spend, for that level caliber of player, you're going to have to spend 3 figures. Easy. On that caliber of player. So that's why transfers are difficult, guys. That's why transfers are extremely difficult. And yeah, and that's why it's hard doing, man. And that's why transfers are hard to do, guys. That's why it's just not so easy to pinpoint names out of a hat and go, here, do, here, do, here, do. Why don't we get that player? Why don't we get that player? Why don't we get that player? It's hard to do, man. It's hard to do. Now, for me, personally, if I wanted to get a player in the summer, I'm looking at a midfielder. If Liverpool can only buy one player this summer, I am looking for someone who can rotate with Alexis McAllister. That's what I'm looking at. Now, I don't know what Arne Slot wants. So, Arne Slot's got his DM in Gravenberch. Does he want a Zubimendi next to Gravenberch? Does Zubimendi and Gravenberch work as a partnership? Or are they too similar? Do they work as a partnership? Or does it have to be one or the other? I'm not the manager, so I don't know. But that's what I'm looking at now. If Liverpool go and get Zubimendi, who I've wanted all year, I still maintain I'd love Zubimendi in the team because he's Zubimendi. Yeah, that's the level of player I'm looking at. That's the high caliber of talent I'm looking at, right? But if Zubimendi's a rotational player for Gravenberch, we still haven't then got a rotational player for McAllister. Like, I just feel like I'm looking at McAllister this season, guys. And for me, you guys might argue with me this. You guys might say I'm wrong. But I actually think McAllister's been even worse than Szoboszlai this season. Personally. I actually think McAllister's got away with it a little bit because he is Alexis McAllister. Because he is Alexis McAllister, he's got away with it a bit. But I do think McAllister's been our weakest midfielder this season. Only because he's shattered. As I said, he plays every week and he plays Argentina all the time. And he's not stopped playing since Brighton. Remember, he played that whole season at Brighton, went to the World Cup, won the World Cup, came back to Brighton. Yeah. Then he went to Liverpool in the summer. Klopp decided to play McAllister as the lone six. That was... Jesus. I think McAllister's fucked from last season. I ain't going to lie. I think McAllister's legs are gone where he had to play the lone six for a season. Yeah. I think that's what fucked him. Yeah. He played the lone six for Liverpool. Then he went to the Copa America in the summer, won the Copa America, then came back. So, and then he didn't really have a pre-season because Slot brought him back a little later because he went all the way to the Copa America final and won it. So he had the later. He didn't have as much as a pre-season as some of the other guys. So he hasn't stopped, man. He hasn't stopped. So yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now and I'm thinking, if Liverpool can buy one midfielder, I'm not really looking for a DM as such this January. I'm looking for a midfielder that can rotate with Alexis McAllister. I really can. Because of the way we play as well. So if you get that rotational player that can rotate with Alexis McAllister, that's at that quality, yeah, there might be a game or two where you can go, you're right, I can leave Gravenberch out and I play the new signing alongside McAllister. You know what I mean? You can change it around a bit. Or Curtis Jones and McAllister could play a game. I don't know, depending who we play. But yeah, that'd be me. I'm looking at McAllister issue at the moment. Big up, Sean. I'm looking at that position right now. You know, I think Curtis Jones is going to play a little further up the pitch. It looks like Curtis Jones is going to be playing in Liverpool's 10 position right now in front of Szoboszlai. You know, there could be times when Slot goes, he puts Szoboszlai back in the 10. Curtis Jones plays alongside Gravenberch. You got control there because, you know, Curtis Jones is pressure resistant, holds the ball well. Gravenberch is very good at interceptions and reading the game and ball carrying. So you got a lot of control there as well with them two playing. So yeah, that's my issue at the moment. I want us to buy players this winter. I just don't think we will. But if I could, I'd buy sort of like a controlling midfielder. You know, a controlling midfielder, not a box-to-box midfielder. We don't need that. I think Szoboszlai is pretty much a box-to-box midfielder. Harvey Elliott can play the 10. Curtis Jones can play that box-to-box game as well. Gravenberch does that. So I'm looking for more of a controller. And maybe that is Zubimendi. Look, maybe it is. Maybe it is. And Zubimendi and Gravenberch can play together. I don't think McAllister can play the 10, personally. But, yeah, maybe Zubimendi is the answer. But we are linked with Cherki at the moment. That is the midfielder we're linked with the most right now. And he plays more advanced. So we'll see how the winter transfer window goes and what Arne Slot's really looking at. I think we're going to get more knowledge of that as we get closer to January. Rumours of Trent as well. Trent apparently, considering to some rumours and reports today, has rejected any advances from Real Madrid and is trying to sort out a contract with Liverpool. So some rumours going around is that apparently Trent wants around 240 to 250 grand a week with £140,000 in bonuses added on and a big signing on fee, which would take him close to that 400 grand a week. So basic wage around the 240, 250 mark, and then he'll get 140 in bonuses and a big signing on fee. That is the rumours going around at the moment. He's rejecting everything from Richards right now. What I'm hearing is that Trent is happy. The way we started the season, the way he's talking about Arne Slot, the way Robbo's talking about Arne Slot, the way Mo Salah's talking about Arne Slot, I think all the players are very, very happy with the manager and the setup at Liverpool right now. The new tactical training regimes they go through, the different coaching they go through, the way Arne Slot is very meticulous on the way he wants things from a technical standpoint. By the sounds of it, the boys are very happy. And, you know, that might have changed Trent's whole plan right now and the way he's looking at things. Trent likes the fact that I know for a fact that Trent is happy with the way Arne Slot is coaching him as a defender. I think it's something he's been wanting for a long time now and been ignored with. You can tell Trent's getting better defensively because you can tell he's getting coached in that way. So maybe he's changed his mind. Maybe he's changed his mind and he's thinking about staying. I would personally... Look, he's not going to get 400 grand a week flat fee, guys. You know, his contract would be 240, 250 a week. That's his wage. And then everything else will be a bonus on top. You know, if he has clean sheets, assists, all that sort of stuff, he'll get that bonus on top. And a high signing on fee. That's what I'm hearing. It could be absolute bollocks, by the way, guys. There's different rumours every day. I mean, it could be that he doesn't even want the bonus and he just wants 240 a week and a 5-year deal. And away we go. I don't know. It's rumours at the moment. But I can only bring you what I'm reading and what I'm hearing. And we talk about it and it might be right, it might be wrong. Whole thing right now. We ain't going to know till he puts pen to paper with either club. So that's when we go. No, definitely. My hope is, and I still hope, that all three sign a new contract by Christmas. I'm hoping all three sign new deals by Christmas. This is my dream, right? They all are sitting at a table. Trent, Mo and Virgil all sitting at a table. Christmas trees behind them. All the Liverpool logos behind them. All signing their brand new contract for a photo op. That's what I'm hoping. Fingers crossed that is the case. The news I'm hearing about maybe Salah wants to leave. Not wants to leave. That Liverpool is struggling to give Mo a new contract is worrying me massively. And this is what my problem. I've said this for a while now. If Trent signs his contract first, I think we struggle to give Salah a new deal. I think Virgil's pretty much done. I think Virgil's contract is pretty much done. I don't think it's going to be long till we hear that Virgil signed a new deal, in my opinion. Could be wrong when Virgil leaves, but in my opinion, what I'm hearing is that Virgil's quite close. If Trent signs before Mo, I just worry that we ain't going to be able to afford to sign Mo Salah to a new contract. And that's my worry. That's my worry. That's my worry. I think one of them will sign a contract before Christmas, Mac. I think one of them will sign a new deal before Christmas. I think it might be Virgil. The three of them, it wouldn't shock me if one of them, at least Virgil, signs a new deal before Christmas. Yeah, and that's the thing. Mo wants 3 years. Liverpool are offering 2. He also wants a big signing on fee. I don't think he wants much bump in wages either. Maybe it's just a bonus thing. Maybe it's a likeness thing. I'm not sure. We ain't going to know, man. We ain't going to know. It's always going to be rumours at the moment. My honest opinion, Virgil is locked in. Most likely it's Trent who is a doubt because we have to accept 250, 27k. And he might not. Yeah, I mean... The problem I've got here, right? I don't think Virgil's so worried about the money side of it. I think, do we all agree with that? I think about out of the 3 players, it sounds like to us, Virgil's not too concerned about the money side of it. Yeah. I don't think he's so a money issue for Virgil. I think it's more length of contract. Yeah. So I think that's why Virgil could be the first to be signed. My worry is then with Mo and Trent. Mo's on 350 grand a week already. How much more does Mo want? Does he want to go to that a 50 grand bump? Go to that 400 grand? 400 grand? Could be. Could want that 400 grand a week. And then what does Trent want? That's my more concern. I think Virgil stays. My major concern is between Trent and Salah. I want all 3 to stay. I literally want all 3 to stay. I don't want any of them to go. I just feel like Mo Salah is so important. And I don't think in 3 years' time, if he signed a 3-year contract, guys, I think we all sit here in 3 years' time and like, yeah, he's still doing bits. You know what I mean? He's still getting 30 GA a season in 3 years' time. We could be sitting here in 3 years' time talking about Mo Salah. How the hell is a 35-year-old Mo Salah still getting 30 GA a season? I don't think it'd even shock us, would it? Because of the way he looks after himself. You know, so I'm hoping on that, guys. I really am. It might just be a lot of hope and it ain't going to happen. But if it don't happen, we're going to talk about it and be right. I'll be angry about it, man. Because for me, Mo Salah should be Liverpool's vice captain, not Trent. This might be a hot topic. People might come for me for this. But I honestly believe Mo Salah should be our vice captain with Virgil van Dijk. They should be the 2 captains. Virgil and Mo Salah should be the 2 captains of this club, in my opinion. When I listen to Mo talk, Mo sounds like he loves the club more than Trent sometimes. You know, and I'm sure that's not the case. Trent probably is in love with the football club, but Mo just comes across like he wants to win everything. You know, Mo's the one who sticks up for our club the most, by the way. When people come for our club, yeah, Mo Salah's the one who sticks up for our club more than anyone. He does posts on Insta and Twitter where he tells everyone to shut up. We're doing things, leave our club alone. We're doing what we can. You know, he tells people where to go. He backs the boys. Like, he's backing the boys. He's saying, look, we got world-class players in every position. We're not underdogs. We can go and win everything. We're a class club. He loves the city. He loves the people. You know, Mo's the man. Mo's literally a man. He should be vice captain. I understand why Trent's vice captain. I get it. He's the scouser in our team. Obviously, he came from the youth team. He's at a high level, but I feel like we just gave him the vice captain last season. And I feel like missing Mo out for vice captaincy to give it to Trent, it didn't sit right. It just didn't sit right. Like, if Trent stayed, he's going to be captain of Liverpool eventually, yeah? That's always going to happen, right? But Trent's 25. Trent can be captain when he's 28, 29, 30 and have a few years being captain. Salah's 32, and you don't make him vice captain when he's so passionate about his football club and he's breaking record after record after record after record. He's our 5th all-time goal scorer. He's trying to he's 10 goals away from beating Thierry Henry or something. The greatest player in Premier League history, apparently. Yeah, he's 26 now, yeah. It's just... And Trent will get his time, man. Trent will be captain of Liverpool. I just love the way Mo talks about our football club, guys. I do. I just love the way Mo talks and protects our football club. It means a lot to me. It does. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. Virgil, the same. Virgil acts like a captain on the pitch. Might not be as emotionally charged as Mo Salah is, but Virgil literally acts like a captain on the pitch. Since he got his captaincy, especially this season, he's like, I ain't taking no shit. I'm Liverpool captain. You start, yeah, like, look at the way he sticks up for all the players on the pitch. He's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's just my opinion in a way. It's just my little... I think most of you agree as well. So big up everyone in chat as well. Much love to you guys. But guys, that was a good show. We got a lot off our chest. We spoke about a lot. We went an hour and 50 minutes. We spoke about a lot. I don't know what we're doing for likes. Mods, how are we doing for likes? Because I haven't looked. Let me know how we're doing for likes, guys. Let me know how we're doing for likes. Yeah, exactly, Sleepy. He's driven by it. Absolutely driven by it. Yeah, Endo's a leader as well. Big up man Endo. We love Endo. 101 likes. There you go. So make sure 103. There you go. So keep hitting that like button, guys. Got 147 people in the house. Try and get them likes up to at least 120 in the next couple of seconds before we leave. I'd appreciate it. Big up, Mac. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, good. Guys, it's been a great chat. We spoke about a lot there. We went through the fixtures, the transfers, the players' contracts. You know, we went through a lot in that little show. I had my little rant about the squads. You know, we had a good time there, guys. We had a great time. I appreciate all of you. You know I do. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for all joining me today. Guys, don't forget the like button on the way out if you're not here already. It's 140 people here. Try and get that to 120 at least. I'd appreciate it. Guys, appreciate every single one of you. Thank you very much. Until I see you again, guys, make sure you're looking after yourself. Bye-bye.